Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Feels Like Weezer. It's the weekly podcast where we talk about Weezer's entire discography, song by song, track by track. I'm Zach Frecking Smith. You can follow me on Twitter at The Informal Log.
And I'm Eric Nash. I am also part of Watchmen Minute and Almost Famous Minute.
How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, man. I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just constantly sweaty at this point.
Yeah.
It's at that time of year where it's just like I'm 90% sweat, and then 10% carbs because that's just how it is. How's it going in Ohio? Is it stupid hot out there too?
It's not too bad.
Oh God, it's terrible. It was like 90 degrees the other day.
It's been around there a bit, some, but today it's a little bit cooler. So
nice. This is a great podcasting material.
Yeah.
We're talking about the weather, but it's warm. There's still quarantine. There's protests all around the nation. It's there's so much going on, and I'm just sweating constantly. Even if I'm like sitting, I'm not gonna get into it. Donate to the Patreon if you want to hear more sweat content from me. Join the Feels Like Weezer Listener Society. I'll talk about sweat all day if you want me to. Pay me $5. I'll talk about sweat all day. I'm cutting that whole thing out because that was awful. So today we are going to be talking about an international track. We normally don't broach into those. Usually maybe we'll do like a B-side here and there, but this was on the Maladroit UK and Japan edition. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why America didn't get it, but okay. This is Living Without You.
I wanna go to see your house and see how you're living without you. And if you care, I'm wanting you from such a distance, living without you. And if you want to try to speak to me again, I'll be your best of friends. And I want you.
All right, Eric, what'd you think of this tune?
yeah, it's as the kids are saying these days, it's a pretty good bop. You know,
It is a bop.
Yeah, it's got that nice upbeat feel. You know, there's I mean, a little bit lyrically, maybe it's a little, you know. I mean, it's talking about, you know, it's something of a love song, but it's also, you know, it's while it seems like it might be kind of negative, but I think it's really in a positive sense.
Yeah, I think so too. It's got that really great, like, just this song is fantastic. It's the best song that's on Maladroit that wasn't on Maladroit. Like, I'm so bummed that the first time I listened to this was this morning before we recorded. I mean, I made up for it. I listened to it like 30 times today. My daughter was bouncing around to it. She loved it. It's a great song. Really upbeat. Pretty sad lyrically. You know, he's just he's pining. It's so surprising here. I know we're broaching new territory here with Weezer. He's pining after a girl.
Yeah.
That does not seem to relay his affections in the way that he wants her to. And you know, it's also kind of I don't know. We'll get to it later, but yeah, it is just such a great tune, and the music is, you know, like it's this punk adjacent kind of you know chord structure, and it is such a good tune. It would have fit so well, you know, in there. Just get rid of space rock, throw this in. Why do we have space rock? Why not this? But it's sorry, Eric, but it's true. It is a very good tune. I'm a big fan. I know, big Weezer fan, but this song specifically. Love it.
Now the thing that I wasn't a fan in the lead up to this, and I may have like kind of listened to it once or twice, but then I kind of forgot about it a little bit. I mean, this is over the course of months now. I think these past few months, I've had a little bit more time with it than you, but there's even points where I kept thinking about how, okay, the title itself is similar to an older song. One that is kind of Beatles adjacent, but Without You, just the title Without You, originally by Badfinger, and then I think even more popularized by Harry Nilsson.
Gotcha.
So I kept thinking, and the lyrics for that are, I can't live if living is without you.
Gotcha.
So I kept kind of confusing it in my head and hoping it was the cover of that. But then when I really came back to truly do the brunt of the legwork, in the past week roughly, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's definitely not that. So it's not that. I'm listening to it now. It's definitely not that.
Yeah, right.
And I finally figured out what that was. It even took me a little while until I had to, just search out Google the Living Without You, and eventually came across Living Is Without You.
See, I was really hoping that it was a cover of With or Without You by U2.
Okay, yeah.
That was my... Just because, like, I want to hear Rivers do that song. And maybe it was just because we were in the cover. I'm glad of what we have. Like, if I had to get a cover of With or Without You at the cost of Living Without You, I would not make that trade.
Oh, wow.
In any way, shape, or form. Because you're right. I think a bop is the best way to describe this. It makes you feel boppy too. It's good stuff. Although I have been having, so I had to listen to the opening riff again so I could get the rest of the song in my head. But it's just because I've only really heard it today. But it's a good opening riff too.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, and there's a nice little. It repeats the couple times there, and then it really gets into the lyrics. And that's actually one thing I came across just today in the last little bit of research I was doing, and listening to some of the other alternative versions that are on the Weezerpedia. The earlier demos, actually earlier. There's even earlier concert, just them trying out in concert before they, I think, recorded it all.
Yeah.
Was these alternate lyrics of I want to know, I want to go to see how you're living, or living without you, without the house and the house part.
Mm-hmm. It's a less fleshed out version, and I feel like it's more aggressive as well than pining. So I think the alternate lyrics would have worked well. With a song like this, where it is kind of, punk and, kind of that more alt rock kind of feeling. I am, the only thing I'm upset about that they changed, they used to say bestest friend, but now it says I'll be your best of friends. And I'm like, come on. First you won't say the F word, and now you're not going to say bestest. Come on, Rivers.
And that's but that's why I kind of thought I kept hearing though, in the true released version. Mm-hmm. That's what I kept wanting to hear. What I thought I was hearing was bestest.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I couldn't make it out that well.
I mean, it works either way. It's not like it's I was being sarcastic. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but yeah, I kind of went down a rabbit hole with this song, because something kept popping up in my recommended videos, which was Weezer Homecoming. Did you get this as well?
No.
Okay. Oh boy. This is really cool. So a bunch of... there were two different videos that I saw, where these fans put together an alternate version of Make Believe. So instead of Make Believe, they would release Homecoming, which, you know, obviously that didn't happen. But so there's a bunch of different B-sides and stuff from this Maladroit Make Believe era, and that are put onto like one. It's almost like a B-side compilation. It's like Death to False Metal, except like way better, because I listened to it and I'm like, oh my god, these guys should work for Weezer and actually putting together a competent album. But it's really cool. I'll send you a link when we're done with this.
Yeah,
but
cool.
It's it's a really interesting idea, and I kind of like to do kind of look into that a bit more in the future. My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, it was getting a little goofy there for a moment.
Yeah,
it's better. It was better just last half minute.
Yeah, well. Okay. So I have called my internet company 4 times to get this fixed, and I'm furious about it. So the third time I called, oh my god, I felt like such an ass. So I call them, and I'm like, okay, I have called twice before. This is now the third time I have called. And the 2 previous times that I called you, you said my problem would be fixed, and it's not. And I'm very frustrated because my wife works from home. She has to have internet connection. She has to have it, or else she can't do her job. So I need to know what you're planning on doing to fix it, because I even bumped up my internet package, and it's worse than it was before. What's the problem? How are we going to fix this? And I was kind of aggressive to the to the lady on the phone, and I usually don't do that. Like I'm usually a pretty nice guy when it comes to, because I've worked in a call center, so like I know how much it sucks. And she was like, "Okay, sir, I hear your frustration. I get it. It looks like there's an outage in your area."
No.
And I just do this complete 180. I'm like, oh my god, I am so sorry. That I usually don't. I didn't mean to be so mean there. I didn't mean to be so aggressive. I'm really sorry. I should have approached with empathy instead of anger. And she's like, no, it's fine. And then I think that at that point she wanted me off the phone because I was being weird. Yeah. But so yeah, we've been having some internet issues in the Franking Smith household. That great story. I know. You've been so excited to hear it. So, what else you got for this song?
Well, there is like a kind of a bit of a tempo-y, almost mood change for the, you know, when he comes in with "And If You Want to Try." You know, kind of. I think it's slower when you say that, slower there. And you know, and if you want to try.
Yeah, it slows down a little bit because. Let me explain how I know this. So, like I said, my daughter and I, we were like rocking out, dancing to it, and she hands me this like Mickey Mouse that she has. It's a stuffed Mickey Mouse, and the ears have like crinkly paper in it. So I was using Mickey Mouse as a maraca, and going along with the beat. And then I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm off beat, and I'm like, I'm white, but not that white. How would I get off beat on something this simple? Well, I think because the tempo changes there.
It's not that simple.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, and I always love it when they do like minor tempo changes in songs, you know, and the fact that like you could hardly really notice it unless you're kind of going through it like we do. I think that just kind of shows how good of musicians they are. I love Weezer.
Really?
Yeah, I know, it's so
Could
strange.
I play you stuff from Pinkerton and the Green Album?
Okay, all right. Pinkerton's okay. Ratitude, on the other hand.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, your kids are... You may not like it, but your kids are going to. Anyway. So, yeah, it's... The lyrics of the song... So, the ones that get me here... The things you wrote to cut me off when I was trying to get with you to be your friend made me feel so bad. And it's like, so we're trying to feel empathetic to you in that lyric, the idea of, she said things to him because he was doing something to kind of cut him out of her life. And then it's like, look, I just wanted to get with you. Wait, no, to be your friend. And it's like, well, you got to pick one there. That's you're either trying to get with her or be your friend. And it's not really a whole lot of crossover. But apparently he screwed it up so bad that she just cut him completely out of her life. And that's sad. But at the same time, like, let's reanalyze how you try to pick up women in this scenario then, if this is the problem. Did any of that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You're just stunned into silence.
At the same time, you did indicate, you thought this was kind of more of a sad song than I was initially saying. But, and I still stick with, but I think it's, I understand that, but there's still this kind of a positive aspect to it of it is about love and wanting love and trying to have something in your life. I think it can be painful, I guess, but to not get what you thought you might have. But I think there's a good spin, a positive spin on that of hey, you just have to get past it and grow.
Right. Maybe not with this person,
no.
But okay. Okay.
Rivers eventually in his life.
He gets there.
But yeah, he's still having some problems here.
He'll eventually just play songs about being on the beach. It's fine.
Yeah.
But so I'm kind of looking at these lyrics now from a different perspective. Now I know why she cut him out of her life. I want to go to see your house to see how you're living, and if you care, I'm wanting you from such a distance. He's peeping in her windows.
Yeah, is that what really it is? It's not a relationship that's already happened and they're long distance relationshiping.
That's what I feel.
But rather,
like. Yeah. I guess a long distance relationship would make sense here. Yeah. I want to. So he wants to go see her, but I'm wanting you from across the sea, as it were. But they broke up. That's what it is. He's not a creepy stalker. It's just the distance was getting to him. So poetry, music, lyrics are apparently subjective. 'Cause it feels like Weezer. 'Cause it feels like Weezer.
Speaking of strange, that's the only other lyrical note I would have is
that's about all I
is
got.
that at the very beginning that I want to go to see your house, and several of the listens I just kind of stopped it there, and I'm like, that seems such a weird thing to say. I mean, especially
right.
in a lyric or something. I mean, it maybe in a normal sense, you could say to a friend, "I'd like to see your house." Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like asking for an invite. But
oh man, that sounds like fun.
But
yeah.
to have it in a lyric from a rock band,
right? And but I think it's in this situation. If we're reading it as a long distance relationship, it's not like I want to see you at your house. It's I want to see your house. Right. Maybe he just cared too much about the person's house, and that's why they're not in a relationship anymore.
I have an interest in architecture. Interior design a little bit too, Can I see it?
Yeah. I think it's a pretty cool thing you got there. But yeah, that's about all I got for lyrics. The guitar solo is whack.
Yeah,
it's so good. And I saw a comment on one of the YouTube videos that it's like they should remaster this and put it on Van Weezer, and I'm like, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
Yeah, I mean, more musically, the instruments. I mean, it's just pretty standard fare. There's nothing too crazy, but like you said, that solo is great, and it's I don't know where I was going with that.
No, I mean, that solo was great. Is something we haven't really said a whole lot. Recently.
Yeah, we had a dearth of it, for a while there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the entirety of Green, and then like some of Maladroit had some pretty good guitars, but a lot of them did not.
There is one other pretty substantial kind of thing I noted from whether it's that demo and or the concert. The demo, definitely. The demo stuff definitely had a lot of kind of odd backing vocals, but there's one point in one of them, I think in the first one I listened to of like the 3 or 4 that are listed. The first one, there's one point though where there's some oohs and ohs that really sounded good though. So I think if they had somehow kept that in, kept all of that backing vocal in, but really brought it a lot down in the mix for the majority of it, besides those oohs and ohs and ahs, what have you. That would have been pretty interesting. That could have kind of made me like it maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. I thought they were a little strange. They were very distracting, that's for sure. I went and listened to a few different versions as well. I personally like the album version better just because of that. I also like the lyrics better, but I mean there were a few where it's like, oh, that was a good. Maybe it was if it was polished up a little bit more and the harmonies were better. Am I liking more? I don't know. This song also was played during the Midget Tour, which is just great. Good title for a song for a band thing. Bad decision there, Weezer. Come on. But they also played this song in 2001 as Goat Punishment. So I just found this out. That was when they would play like small club dates, like secret clubs, They play as Goat Punishment, not as Weezer. Which is apart from, Midget Tour, not great. Goat Punishment, radical, fantastic, good choice all around. But yeah, that's about all I got for this one.
Mm-hmm. For some crazy reason, looking at the one last little note I have is the catalog of riffs number of 310,
mm-hmm.
and that's 44 earlier than one of the songs from I think one of my lesser liked songs from Maladroit, Slave. So so instead of Space Rock, I would say Slave. I think is the one I want to switch out. I wish they.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. Maybe Love Explosion. I'd slip out instead of Space Rock. Oh yeah, I thought Space Rock was pretty okay. Everything runs together now, Eric. I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep this week, and no, I'm kidding. So who covered this song, Eric?
In general, the normal way I place I look, we have no covers there, but there was one YouTube I did take I noted down. Christian Warner.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's interested, I think that sounded okay. It wasn't spectacular or anything, but it was okay sounding. But I would like to switch over to a new kind of sub-segment to the covers.
Oh yes,
and it's all because on my new recording setup in my studio in quotes. I now have, instead of just having access to the good old. I think it's been a while since I mentioned it. Rocksmith out at my TV with my on my old PS3. I now have Rocksmith on this new desktop setup I have, and that means I have access to what they call CDLC. You probably know what DLC is,
Right? Yeah.
right? So custom downloadable content.
Oh, awesome.
Via Customs Forge. So I mean, there's probably 30 or so Weezer songs there, 30 or 40.
Really?
So, and unfortunately, Living Without You for this this little inaugural new subsegment, there's nothing for Living Without You. No one's created one for that. Maybe I'll end up creating that or creating a ton down the road, but I haven't dipped my toe into and really thinking about how I might be able to do that or figure out how that's done. But I've started downloading plenty of stuff, mostly Beatles. But
weird.
But some Weezer,
like the Beatles.
Because Beatles was totally lacking from the game. I mean, now of course they had the Rock Band and their own version of Rock Band.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that you bring this up, because I was thinking, why wasn't there ever a Weezer version of Guitar Hero? Because they did like Guitar Hero Aerosmith and Guitar Hero Metallica. Like, Weezer has some really good songs with some really good guitar. And this is a perfect example. Like, I could see it scrolling in my head, like orange, blue, orange, and I'm just like, this would have been great. I would have bought this.
And I thought they had really put out, 2 or 3 or 4 or something on either Rock Band or Guitar Hero, one of the two, I thought, but not a whole game unto themselves.
They did My Name is Jonas on Guitar Hero 3 and Say It Ain't So on Rock Band. Those were the only ones I played. I never went on to like Rock Band 2 and everything like that. But I stopped at Guitar Hero 3 and Rock Band, and then I kind of didn't. I got out of that. I got out of rhythm games. Moved on to bigger and better things. But
but for this little new sub segment, they're with our going into make believe. I predict some further mentioning of some of these.
It's almost like
coming up.
Ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, and actually, the actual reality is that the a couple of the earliest songs we'll be getting to are actually on are truly officially available, which I had mentioned before.
Beverly Hills and Perfect Situation, probably. Yep. Sorry, spoilers.
Nope.
for that segment, but I mean, I think anybody could have guessed that, considering how insanely popular those two songs were. Yeah. Oh man, I listened to Make Believe the other day to kind of get ready. I'm not looking forward to doing this. Not. It's gonna be tough through some of it. There are some really good ones on there. There are a few songs that I really, really like, but whoo boy, this is gonna be difficult. This is our Attack the Clones.
Yeah. Right.
But
so in that case, like kind of like Green Album was just like Jedi.
Yeah, that was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and well, no, then that would make Maladroit the Phantom Menace, and that's not good. This is like
but the Phantom Menace had the pod racing. That was so good.
Yeah, Maladroit is the pod racing scene from the Phantom Menace. There we go. That's if we have to put it in terms that we understand completely. Look, if it's not related to Space Wizards, I don't want to hear it. There's a new Star Wars game coming out. Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Which
for a moment I thought you were talking about the new game show.
Oh, no. Have you watched that at all?
No. I have Disney Plus, but it is not working for me, and I'm pretty sure I'll be canceling it.
It's not on Disney Plus.
Well, what's it on then?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
I think so.
Well, I'm going to look it up then, as soon as we get done here.
Yeah, because...
Gotta get me some Ahmed Best.
Yeah, they put it on there because you can get more, because kids have a better access to that because it's free. They don't have to pay for Disney Plus, which is great. That's a great thing that they're doing, but I'm not sure if it's, I don't know. But yeah, it's on YouTube. Disney Plus isn't working for you?
Nope.
That's very disappointing.
It actually did work one night about a week or so ago, so I did get in. I've been gradually going through fairly slowly, but once a week or so, the MCU. But so I did get in. I did get into Winter Soldier. It amazingly worked, so I went ahead and watched it all in one go. Because if I stopped it in the middle, left and came back later that evening, it might not work again, and it didn't work the next. It didn't work the next day.
I thought you were going to say you binged the whole Mandalorian. It's like Disney Plus is working. Mando.
I'm seriously tempted to get that on some physical media, though.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious if they're going to release those.
I'm pretty sure.
Season 1.
Because I think what I've done so far is I've asked it to be reserved in my library. A DVD copy. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I hope it is.
Oh wait, no wait. Maybe I'm thinking Watchmen. Watchmen came out.
Yeah, Watchmen just came out.
The show. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I would hope so.
Yeah, I hope that they do that because, the world needs more. You've seen the first episode, right?
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw all of it.
Oh, you've watched all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The world needs more Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody needs to see Baby Yoda.
But it's not really Yoda. This takes place after Return of the Jedi. Yoda's dead.
Well, yes, we know that. We know
it's not Baby Yoda species.
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm fine, Baby Yaddle. Does that make you feel better? Because we don't know if Yaddle is dead or alive.
And is there a gender identity for this Baby Yoda?
No
creature.
It's
can't really tell
Yoda.
if that's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, I mean, how would you know?
Yeah.
How would you know? You haven't seen what's underneath there.
Oh, no. Don't.
Maybe it's just because they have...
yes, 50 years old, but no, technically...
Right, yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah, hey guys. I'm not being perverted. Leave me alone. All right.
I think we've covered...
We've covered more than we need to.
Yeah.
What's your rating for this one?
I'm going to have to give this... a 7.25.
7.25.
Yeah, just that little bit under Warrior Rock.
Oh man,
that one a little bit better.
Gotcha. I'm giving this a 9.5.
Yeah, I bet.
I loved this song. I thought it was just it's so well done. And it's a lot of fun. It's a good song to listen to. Yeah, big fan. So, I guess that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since we've recorded, so I'm like, wait, is that the end of the show? Yeah, it's the end of the show. That's all we do. Plugs, I guess.
Yeah. Where can people find you more?
You can currently find me on Twitter at The Informal Log, where I am just dunking on J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
And talking about Black Lives Matter. And then every once in a while, throwing in some other stuff. But yeah, I deleted Facebook, so not deleted Facebook, like I removed the app. I still have access to it just because of pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, so now it's just Twitter. It's just Twitter. So that's where I have to put all my dunking. So you can follow me at The Informal Log.
Yep. And on Twitter for myself, you can follow me at Lucky Mustard.
And you do a fair amount of dunking as well.
Yeah,
you dunk quite a bit.
Overboard sometimes.
Have you been blocked by anybody?
By anyone?
Yeah.
I feel like once or twice, maybe.
Good for you.
I feel like it.
Yeah, I witness your dunking, and I appreciate it. Both in real life, you know. Not many people know you're a great basketball player.
I'm not that tall. You keep thinking I'm tall.
How tall are you?
I'm just like 5'10" and a half.
Yeah, that's way taller than me. I'm 5'8", 5'8" and a half.
Okay,
5'8",
well, our pictures are right
then. Exactly. That's why.
No idea.
I remember you asking, like, why are you so much shorter than me? And I'm like, because I'm like 5'8".
Because you said I'm tall.
Yeah. Oh, was that? Yeah. You're
you
tall.
thought I'm tall.
You're a tall dude. Well, you can find Eric and all of his tallness and this show on the Pantheon Podcast Network. You can find this and Almost Famous Minute and lots of other great shows on PantheonPodcasts.com. You can follow us at Pantheon Pods on Twitter as well. They don't do as much dunking as we do, but it's also a business, so you know you can only dunk so much on businesses. So, and you can check us out on Facebook, Feels Like Weezer. You can join the Feels Like Weezer Listener Society. You can follow us on Twitter at Feels Like Weezer, where we do some dunking. We do. At least we retweet some dunks. That's for sure. You can join the T. You can not join. You can access our TeePublic down below in the below part. That sounds dirty. You can buy some T-shirts. Help us out. Or if you don't want to buy T-shirts, I would recommend that you right now, very important, donate to various charities supporting Black Lives Matter and supporting, you know, the protesters and, you know, bail stuff and all that. Instead of doing that, instead of donating to us, why don't you donate to them? Because that's... And I'm sorry, Eric, I'm taking money from your pocket, but this is a little bit more important, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I think so. But I'm not the one receiving the funds.
Definitely, from my point
I'm
of
cutting
view.
that part out, so don't worry. I'm not going to make it seem like you're like, no, I'm more important than the revolution.
Damn it, don't take away my one sale per month.
But, yeah, so we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're taking a few weeks off to kind of regroup so we can get ready for Make Believe. We've got our Make Believe special coming up, and then we've also... got something unprecedented coming up. We're just dropping all sorts of news. Very exciting. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else, Aaron?
Yep, I'm good.
Well, I guess
I hope I'm not bad.
What?
I hope I'm not bad.
Bad? Why would you be bad? What?
Because I said I'm good.
Cause